We start with some breaking news right now. Firefighters were called to reports of a train car that was on fire at 3rd and Sunset on the elevated tracks near Sunset Boulevard. Take a look right there. So according to Spokane Fire Chief Brian Schaefer, the fire was upgraded to a hazmat situation. The fire has since been put out and the roads have reopened. However, firefighters still treating it as a hazmat situation. No one's been injured, according to the fire chief, in this incident. So as soon as we learn more, we'll be sure to pass that information along to you.
We're doing everything we can to keep up with the pace of patients presenting and the pace of patients who need hospitalized care. But people need to realize that healthcare workers, we're a limited resource. We can only do so much.
Hospitals across the state of Washington approaching 100% occupancy as the new wave of COVID cases surges in this pandemic. Good evening and thank you for joining us for Krempton News at 11. I'm Mark Hanrahan. New tonight, hospitals across the state are nearing capacity and seeing more COVID-19 patients than ever before. But how does that translate to the latest data both locally and across the state? Krempton News' Joshua Robinson joining us live in the studio tonight to break down that data. Joshua?
Yeah, Mark, the latest wave of COVID-19 pushing hospital resources across the state closer to that maximum capacity. You can see right here that the past 10 days have pushed our statewide hospitalizations higher than they've been all year. 167 new hospitalizations reported last Wednesday, the 11th, and 151 new hospitalizations reported on Monday, the 16th. Now, both of those are the two highest numbers Washington has seen, not just this year, but ever. And we can see this surge has been building pretty consistently over the past month, if you look at this trend here since mid-July. But what does that situation look like here locally? The highest single-day report of new hospitalizations, as we look at information from the Spokane Regional Health District, confirmed this month that 15 new hospitalizations is that high mark. That was reported on Monday, August 2nd. As you can see, we've also got a little bit of a spike happening in the county right now. It's not quite as extreme as the overall statewide numbers, though. The vast majority of these hospitalizations have been linked to people in their 60s and in their 70s. They make up more than a third of all reported hospitalizations. Right now, Spokane Regional Health District has also confirmed 164 people are hospitalized. That's one fewer than yesterday's total, 165. That was the highest total we have seen all year. Now, we've also been seeing spiking case numbers locally, statewide and across the country. The most important piece of information, by the way, with that is that the rate at which those numbers are climbing is much faster than any other wave we have seen so far. But I also want to take a look at one of the positive signs, if we can call it that, because so far in Washington state, we have not seen any dramatic rise in reported deaths since early February. The state hasn't reported more than 3 COVID-related deaths on any single day since then. But even though it's technically a positive trend, the rate of growing cases and hospitalizations could be an even bigger problem if it continues into the winter months, when the frequency of deaths has been much higher. Back to you, Mark.
All right, all good information there, Joshua. Thank you very much. Well, today, doctors from Providence Health spoke out about the surge of COVID-19 hospitalizations after local healthcare systems are being pushed to nearly 100% capacity. Today in Spokane County, the Regional Health District reported that 164 people were hospitalized, making it the second highest record of hospitalized patients since the start of the pandemic. Providence's chief medical officer said Eastern Washington is filling up ICU beds.
We've certainly broke our previous record for hospitalizations, and you're seeing the same thing at Kootenai Medical Center. So our region is really, really tight for beds right now.
In addition to the increase in hospitalizations, many healthcare workers are experiencing burnout from seeing so many unvaccinated patients, they say. As the Delta variant quickly spreads, the mask mandate going into effect this Monday, and starting next week, everyone in Washington, regardless of vaccination status, will have to wear a mask in indoor public spaces. Although masks will not be required in crowded outdoor settings like concerts and fairs, the Department of Health is urging people to still wear a mask in those situations. Washington state health leaders and educators gathered tonight to give advice on the upcoming school year, specifically focusing on the mental and emotional health of students. Superintendent of Public Instruction Chris Rakedahl and Dr. Bob Lutz and other speakers confirmed their approach this school year is different from last year. Rakedahl says their new model includes mask mandates and vaccine requirements for staff members, and it will stay in place, well, for the foreseeable future. And Dr. Lutz said compared to last year's focus, which was on distancing, this year's focus is on getting children back into the classroom safely.
We're still experiencing the pandemic, as we are all too well aware of, and therefore our focus at Department of Health, in conjunction with our partners at OSPI is to ensure that every child has access to in-person learning and safe in-person learning.
We never want you to do anything but have high expectations of the schools this year on the safety and health protocols, the mental health needs of our young people, but also the relationship building. When that goes well, those other doors really open up.
Following the discussion, the state shared a list of several resources for parents to help build up the mental and emotional health of their students. We have that list on our website. Just head to krem.com. Today, Spokane police arrested a man they say continued to stalk a woman for months after her application for protection order was denied. Officers arrested Angelo Lopez after a probable cause for stalking. Back in early June, a woman said a man had been following her on a regular basis when she would walk her dog. Officers encouraged that woman to seek a protection order against that man, which she did, but that order was ultimately denied by the courts. Well, it turns out Lopez has a long history with the law, including 5 felony convictions and 36 gross misdemeanor convictions. A public health advisory now in effect after blue-green algae was found in Boyer Slough near Sandpoint. The Idaho Department of Environmental Quality found widespread cyanobacteria scum along the shoreline and reaches to the mouth of Lake Pend Oreille. The DEQ now urging lake visitors to watch out for water that looks discolored or murky. The algae can also spread with wind and water currents, they said. Well, are you ready for funnel cakes, rides, and entertainment? The North Idaho State Fair kicks off for 10 straight days starting tomorrow. The State Fair is set to start at 3 p.m. and will close every night at 10 p.m. After Friday, the fair gates will open at 11 a.m. on weekdays and 10 a.m. on weekends. Fairgoers can expect magicians, livestock shows, exhibits, live music, even a pirate show, we're told. All right, let's talk weather. The cooler weather is here. The wildfire smoke has moved out, at least for the time being, and rain is also in the forecast. Let's check in with meteorologist Thomas Patrick of the Outdoor Weather Center tonight. And Thomas, my goodness, these are all good things right now.
Yeah, very much so. It's been way more pleasant both yesterday and again for today, and with more rain in the forecast, that usually spells good news, but it's not a completely perfect forecast, as you'll see in a moment. A couple very light showers around Spokane County. I believe most of this is even having a hard time hitting the ground, let alone getting the ground wet. But these light showers tonight is not our main event. It's really tomorrow evening. We're going to see some heavier rain showers and perhaps even some thunderstorms. That has led to a flash flood watch being issued across North Idaho and northern Washington. But for burn scar flooding, that is going to be the main potential there. So not for our cities, just for mountain burn scars specifically. As we take you to a snapshot of Future Tracker, this is 6 p.m. tomorrow evening. You see some scattered showers and thunderstorms being developed across northern Washington. A couple other computer models are very similar in their output with this weather system, but scattered is going to be a key word. So some areas might get heavy rains, others might miss out a little bit overall. But again, not a perfect forecast. Look at our smoke computer modeling at the same time. You see these orange shades? I think our air quality might actually go down a little bit for tomorrow. In fact, one area had already hit unhealthy air quality as of tonight. So I'll show you that reading and give you a detailed forecast over this weekend, all coming up in a few minutes.
Sounds good, Thomas. We talk to you later in the broadcast. Thank you very much. Newly released court documents show that a woman who died in the Browns Edition apartment fire earlier this week was involved in an argument earlier in that day. The Spokane Police Department now looking at the building fire as a possible case of arson. A witness saw the victim, identified as Sherry Vick, arguing with 3 people regarding using a hose that was attached to the property. One of those people also yelled a profanity at Vick, according to court documents, before leaving. Detectives have now filed a search warrant to look for possible ignition sources of that fire. Today, a local judge merged 2 rape cases into one against former Spokane police officer Nathan Nash. Nash is accused of raping 2 women in 2019 and in 2021. In 2019, he was charged with 2nd-degree and 3rd-degree rape and official misconduct. In 2021, he was charged with rape and unlawful imprisonment. And some similar details between the 2 cases were outlined in the probable cause affidavit filed in court today. Nash's trial is set to start on January 11th. The suspect in the death of a 19-month-old girl from Spokane Valley appeared in court today for a different charge. Mickey Brown Jr. appeared in front of a judge on a theft charge. Now that charge is separate from the 2nd-degree assault charge that he could face in connection with the death of Azalea Rain Red Horse Jones. She died last Sunday after suffering what experts described as extensive and substantial trauma. All right, still ahead tonight. He fled Afghanistan and the Taliban. Now that refugee calls Spokane home. We'll get his perspective on the situation unfolding in the war-torn country. Plus, level 2 and 3 evacuations remain in place for some of the fires burning across the inland Northwest. We'll have updates on all those fires coming up next.